Hi guys,
Hello.
and welcome, and welcome to Pen's Notes. So today's topic, this topic is quite interesting. Actually, it's going to be on social media, where we'll be touching on personal goals and expectations that kind of like are intertwined with social media. You understand what I mean when we get into the gist of it. But before we start, what did you guys note this week? Right. Can you guys please introduce yourselves? Let's start with the man on my right.
Everyone, my name's Josh.
Hi, I'm Kiitan.
I am Nari.
Hi, I'm Ariel.
It's your boy Tim's OG. You already know what the fuck.
Oh my god, every time.
Hey, free him. I'm sorry, guys. It's a tag.
Right. Hi, I'm Tobi.
Okay, so now you guys are familiarized with the people that are sitting beside me. Now let's figure out what their notes are for the week. Who wants to go first?
Nari, go first.
I don't put her on the spot like that now.
As a volunteer.
You know what? I'll go first.
I can actually go first.
Okay,
Okay,
Kiitan, go
so
first. Since everyone's shy.
You guys ready for this one? You know, I didn't even do last week, so I had to make my own controversial.
Okay, now.
Don't educate me.
Okay, now.
Theme for the week.
Right.
Mine is kind of super specific, but I think baseline, the phrase "if he wanted to, he would" is possibly one of the daftest things I've ever heard.
You're a liar.
No, really.
You're a
Excuse
liar
me?
for that.
No,
No,
really.
It's straight
Excuse
facts.
me?
Wait, no.
Okay.
No,
I can
no,
understand
no,
why.
no, yeah.
Let me hear what it
I
says.
think as people in general, there is infinite number of things that we want and we go for in our lives every single day. Every
Okay.
single time somebody has started a business,
Mhm.
obviously they want that business to do well.
Right.
Yeah. I think the whole point of life is that you have your wants or the things that you want to get out of life and you work towards them. And most of the time we fail to reach those like heights, if that makes sense. Not fail as in, oh, we're all failures or whatever,
Right.
do you grab? But like there are certain people that thought they want to be astronauts by the time they're 25 or whatever, and this, that, and they've been working towards it, do you grab? And you can genuinely put your all into something, and for whatever reasons, whether internal or external to you, it doesn't work out. And I don't understand why we're willing to accept that fact in pretty much every other corner of life, except for when it comes to the expectations we place on
Because
men.
that's not what they mean, though.
It's,
It
yeah.
depends.
You're
Because
talking about...
Like, the question's always going to be, how bad do you want it?
Please. I beg you. Let's
Let me ask you a question.
Then,
If you started a business, right,
Uh-huh.
and you were selling, let's say, iPhones, you were selling like replacement iPhones, is the fact that, let's say last year, when there was supply chain issues going on with the iPhone, everything was going on to zero, is the fact that you did not do £1 million in sales in June your fault or in spite of your actions?
No, it's not your fault.
But then
Well, that's a different context.
Like if you want
Don't
to
you
do
wait?
it,
What
though.
don't you want your business
No,
to
but
be?
like,
It's
it's
different.
so funny. You know what? One house.
That's attached to a timeline.
Let Ariel
bro.
go.
it's a
One
different
house.
context, I think.
Let Ariel go, and then Toby, and then we can go from
Don't
there.
you want to be rich and famous?
Yeah,
I do want to be rich.
Why aren't you rich and famous?
Guess that, why you broke?
Wait.
One house. You don't know my story.
One house.
You don't know my story.
If I'm holding the green phone,
From what you said, right, it almost seems as if, okay, we shouldn't say if he wanted to, he would. We should say if he needed to, he would. Would that make you better?
I mean,
Would that make you happy?
it would make me happy if you explained
If
what
you
that
needed-
phrase even means.
No, because what he said was there are many
Why?
things we want to do, but
Right.
we're not able to do it.
Right.
But there's things we need to do more than half of the time. You do it because you needed to do it. So are
Right.
you saying the phrase should be if he needed to, he would?
No, I think generally
Okay.
speaking, like there should be a lot more willingness to afford grace, especially when like these things, because the phrase "if he wanted to, he would," like let's be very serious. Like obviously, in a very large like percentage of situations, it talks about commitment to a relationship. And bear in mind, I understand what that means. Like if that makes sense, there are people in this life who are like very non-committal, and if you don't force them to actually like say, okay, this is what I want to do, and I'm gonna work towards it, they'll be flaky forever. However, there are also people who like, for the most part, that phrase "if he wanted to, he would" literally just
Doesn't
means
apply.
there's a nigga whose wallet I want to be open and it's not open.
Okay, but I feel like people only say those statements when the person has track record of fucking up. If the
What does
person
fucking
doesn't
up
have
mean?
track
Yeah.
okay, not fucking up, but messing up.
What does fucking up mean in this scenario?
Okay, not getting you a present, not getting you a card for your birthday.
You said a present or a card? Because that's two
Present.
different things.
Card.
Like, so okay, not
Card.
getting you a card is I did not think of you or do anything for you on your birthday. Not
Yeah.
getting you a gift could be I don't have money in my account.
Okay, no, but I'm saying you didn't do anything for my birthday. I'm using that.
guys, let
Wait,
Ariel
wait.
go ahead, please.
I think I don't understand why he's talking about it this way. Just because if he wanted to, he would
kind of represents the lack of doing something. You're talking
Right.
about someone doing it and not achieving
Thank you.
greatness.
Exactly
But
what I was
what?
gonna
That's
say.
not what the statement is talking
Exactly.
about. The statement is talking about someone that's not doing it.
Exactly. What?
And even in the gift context, someone that doesn't have a lot of money to get a gift for a person, like a gift doesn't necessarily have to be, I want a Chanel bag.
Right.
If you wanted to, you would. A gift could be so small. A gift is something you made.
Right.
Like,
But if I'm-
like,
Can
I
I
ask
put
a
that
question?
in?
Ariel lands.
I feel like if someone is then given a gift that they don't like, the
Yeah.
statement is not if he wanted to, he would. The statement
Because
is,
he
he
did.
doesn't understand me, or something like that.
Yeah,
It's a
but-
different thing entirely.
This-
Absolutely.
You
this
you
does
then
not-
get something that you're not expecting or you don't like.
Okay.
This
Two
does not
questions
apply
to
to
follow up on
Lagos
that.
babes.
Okay,
Continue.
Two questions to follow up on that. Number one, why in this scenario is there always a gift? And number two, why is it always
I'm not talking about
like
when
no?
you
But
talk.
that's the point. When I say why is there always a gift, the whole point is that like I feel as though a majority of people who interpret the statement, if he wanted to, he would, is usually about, bro, this person is not like acts of servicing me or love languaging me.
Or
in
not
the love
showing up
language
I don't
or
agree
love
with that.
languaging.
Or
It's
just-
also
What are
just
showing
go
up?
ahead.
What are
Just
showing
go
up for
ahead.
you?
Showing
in
up
the
for
world?
me is,
Yeah.
oh, I'm having a bad day. Come through. Or, oh, I want to see you today.
Okay.
Or, I'm sad about something.
Yeah.
And you've not checked it.
It's
If you
it's
wanted
actually,
to, you would.
I understand what you're saying.
Have you communicated that you're sad about
Like,
it?
I
Do you know what my
Yeah.
point? Do you know what my point?
Yeah.
is? This whole thing, yeah.
Well,
Every single time we have these conversations, it's always like I feel as though the entire concept of the whole "if you wanted to, you would" is always framed around what
things.
the other person, and the other person is always a him,
Yeah.
can do for you.
Wait, let's
Let's
pause
you
there.
see
Let's
me
pause there.
with
Wait,
that?
guys.
It can be
One
used
house.
in
Wait, go ahead.
It
Sorry.
can be used in both like situations.
Mm.
It like the same way you would use it to apply to a guy, you can use it to apply to a girl or whatever gender
You can
What
use
if it
it on
never applies
friendship.
to
And no,
Yeah.
it's not even that
Wow.
because let me tell you what. First of all, even the whole concept of like what Ariel said was spot on in terms of like what you are describing here, like everyone has a long life goal of doing this and they don't achieve it. In this situation of if you wanted to, what I hear it's mostly like, okay, if you said that you told someone, oh, I like to spend time with you, I like this, I like that, or whatever, and they literally, even when they can, they refuse to. And then it makes you start questioning, does this person like me? It's not generally the concept of like, it doesn't even have to be gifts. You could tell someone that, oh, I like to spend time. My love language is quality time. And for me, I would like us to spend more time together. And then even when they have the time to spend, they don't want to spend it with you.
They're on their
And then you're
phone.
not, I was thank you, they're there, they're watching football, whatever. Every time.
That is
No,
real
every
life
time.
experience.
And then that's when people
Sit
start,
down
like
on their
every single
phone.
time a girl has, and I agree with you in terms of like, it's mostly girls that say that it's true, but it's always in the context of like, whenever people are saying if he wanted to, he would, because it's something that they have explicitly said, I care about this, I would like you to do this, and they feel like the love that they're receiving for that person is shortcoming.
Is that
No,
how it's been in your
absolutely.
experience? 'Cause I
No,
can't
but
lie.
I'm saying that the concept of like me, whenever I hear people say if you wanted to, I understand where they're coming from. I've never, because me, I don't date people that
I don't
Guys
mess
do.
with broke
Yeah,
boys.
but like-
a good deal of
That's
the
what I'm
female.
curious.
I
don't
won't
date
lie
people
to you
that
guys.
that stress me.
A
I'm
good deal of the
curious.
female friends I have, by the time they come to me and they're like, oh, I don't like that he's not putting in efforts, he's not applying pressure. If he wanted to, he would. By the time I actually get down to talking to them, within about 20
And that's
minutes,
the people you
I
know
found out there's
now.
something you want him to give you that he has not given you. So like,
No,
people you
but-
know.
But giving
I
could
don't
be, is
think,
it
I don't
also
think it's always in
time?
that context, though. to
even
be
if it's
honest.
time, and that's the worst part. Like sometimes it'll be
because
time
what
and they'll be like, oh, he never spends time with me, and I'm like, bro,
But
like,
that's a valid
wait,
reason.
and then I'll now ask, okay, so like, what's been going on with his work week? And she's like, oh, I don't know, like he seems kind of stressed from work. Okay,
I mean,
do you not think
communication
those
is
two are
communication
connected?
is
Like,
one thing. Communication is one thing, but I can't lie. There's some people say that, oh, if you wanted to, you would. It's because where that term even coined from was because there was a time where you see babes saying that, oh, when I was dating this person, then they'll go and date another babe. I'm doing exactly the same thing that the other babe said that she wanted. So everything I said I wanted, you didn't do it for me. Then you go and date somebody else, and you're doing it for them. That's where the term came from.
And even
Why were you
also, you're
there?
saying
I
that
can't
the
lie.
person
As
had a
somebody who
long
has
week,
been-
a stressful week.
I can't lie
How
to
can
you.
that be
Yeah, did they hear you
Exactly.
if you
As
want
somebody
to?
who-
Communication.
I'll use myself as an example,
on.
okay? I was, a couple years back, like 4 or 5 years ago, right?
Mm.
I was in a, let's call it a relationship with a girl.
No,
Ah,
let's call
wait,
it-
chill.
That's
No, 'cause
why-
it was-
Situationship?
It was most definitely, it
Let's
was most
call it
definitely a
a
situation.
Okay, yeah, let's call it
It was most definitely a
Let's
situation.
call it
Yeah,
a-
yeah.
But obviously, like throughout that whole thing, I believe, Sha, or at least given from what I'm given to understand from conversations we had, there was a very concerted feeling of a lack of effort on my part.
Right.
Now, the thing about it is, first of all, there were several times where like I kind of failed to show up for her on her birthday, I believe. Like, I got her cake, but I didn't get a gift or anything like that.
Wait. You got her cake and what happened?
I got her cake, but not a gift. All these things.
Wait. You got her a
I
cake.
got her cake, but
cake
not
is
a
fine
gift.
now.
Okay.
Oh,
And
I mean,
like-
a cake can be a gift.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
but Sha, the whole point was just that like the effort clearly wasn't there, and at a certain point, like it was crazy to me because it felt like, bro, I'm making all sorts of efforts here.
Right.
Like, bro, I've woken up at 6 a.m. just to go and like buy you your favorite smoothie and bring it back to you. But yeah, you only need this because like that one time you were feeling sad and you wanted to call me and talk.
Yeah.
I was sleeping and my phone was on silent. Or oh, I didn't do this, or I didn't do that, or oh, I didn't buy you takeouts when you wanted it that one time. But like I've literally like things have happened in the past. You grab.
Yeah.
And what I will understand is I will consistently say, funny enough, it took that relationship kind of falling apart for me to say the next person who I wanted to get into like a serious thing with, I said, okay, cool. Like, unless you are actually willing to like say what you're gonna do, stick to it, pull through and deliver, either don't promise it at all or leave this baby alone. And that is the aspect of the whole if you wanted to, you would think that I completely do understand. However, I also do understand that like truth of the matter is that like as the other person in the relationship that was listening to her say, you're not putting effort, I saw the efforts I was putting in. Do you grab? Those efforts just didn't necessarily match up with my love language. And it made me acutely aware of the fact that one, like, you need to love people how they're willing to be loved.
Right.
But I also do think that generally, like, that you need to love people how they're willing to be loved. There is a very, like, concerted lack of grace that worries me, where people are like, you can clearly see somebody's making efforts, so
Yeah,
because, like, the
fundamental.
effort is not in the direction you want it to be,
Right.
Yeah, no, I
you've
agree,
dismissed
I
it as if it doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
But let me ask you a follow-up question. Do you feel like she met your standards? Do you feel like she like
She did what you wanted
exactly,
us to do.
Exactly.
I don't think at that point in time
You wanted
I
much.
cared about that or required it from my partners, and that was a personal feeling on my.
But that's
part.
also why there's that gender thing. Because I feel like, going back to what I said in the last episode, I'm going to sound like I'm generalizing, but I don't mean everybody. Disclaimer. Exactly. Again, I feel like sometimes men are comfortable with mediocrity sometimes. Not mediocrity, but like in terms of you guys accept. No, wait, I'm sorry. That was.
I don't know about those
No,
men.
not mediocrity.
Do you know
but
the
like,
funniest
not
thing?
mediocrity.
I know what she's getting at, and I think
It's
it's
like
valid.
Men
What
are
do you mean
very, sometimes you guys
mediocrity?
are not mediocrity, but you guys are.
They can be comfortable.
They can be
in certain
comfortable.
scenarios
You guys
where-
don't expect too much. Sometimes, not all men. I know there's some
Or
men.
from women.
But I think you guys also have to.
Relationships.
I think you guys
Yeah.
also have to
In
recognize the
relationships
fact
in
that like
general.
that's mainly because in a lot of situations, and obviously this is changing a lot societally speaking. Men are already allowed to ask for more.
That's what I
expect
said in
more.
the
It's seen
last.
as
That's what I
sassy,
said in the
bro.
last podcast, right? So I was talking about how like a lot of times men, because of the way you guys were raised, like not to really say your feelings. That's why a lot of men don't really like celebrating their birthdays. Whereas a lot of women, sometimes when it's their birthday, the whole world shut down. You celebrate for the whole month. But it goes
Kinda
back to
have
what
an
I'm saying.
agenda for the real reason behind that.
You said what?
I have an agenda for the real reason.
No,
behind
that's
that.
fair enough.
Birthdays
That's
cost
actually-
money, bro.
No.
Guys don't like spending money.
Okay, no, fair enough. But even I understand that. But even something as like little as okay, it's your birthday, you're like, oh, happy birthday. It's like, oh, I mean, chill, like, cool,
not that
like,
deep.
yeah, okay, cool, happy birthday. But it's like, oh, happy birthday. It's like, oh, thank you. Like, you took your time to even call. Like, you took your time to call me or message me. It's like, oh, that's sweet. That touched my heart. Guys, they're like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. Shout out, you know. Seems OG.
You know the vibes.
You know the vibes. Exactly. So I feel like because of that, it seems like it's more gender based because women are the ones that are always constantly asking for more. Where guys are like, even if she's not really meeting your needs, she's a fine babe, and I'm happy. I'm not sad. So why not? You know, I'm not
Don't
even.
shake the
Not even
boat.
yeah, exactly.
It's not all about being a fine babe.
As in, or rather, like, it's the
something-
80-20 rule, essentially. You're more likely to say, oh, she's giving me 80% of what I need. And the fact that she's not, like, servicing my needs in terms of love like that falls into the 20, but I'm not willing to give up the 80 for the 20
Right,
that I don't
exactly.
want.
And also the time, and it goes back to what you were saying before, right? Like, it could be on the same for the flip side as well. Like, you could be servicing 80% of like her needs, but because of that 20% that's lacking, it becomes an issue.
Exactly. I was gonna say that as
And
well.
that's where grace comes in, right? Because the whole thing about the whole thing about like love languages, attachment styles, I think is incredibly important and something we don't really speak that much about because people just believe, okay, you know, if you do the things, like obviously if this person loves me and I'm saying I want this thing, then like why would they do it for me? It's
Right.
like, there's no reason, right? But it doesn't oftentimes take into consideration that might be almost antithetical to that person's
Right.
attachment style. If I'm someone that doesn't like seeing someone, like for a random example, if I don't like being with people generally for like, let's say long periods of time, and then I'm with a babe that wants to see me 24/7, that would create a problem.
Right.
Not because, and that has nothing to do with how we feel about each other. That's just how we're wired.
Right.
And so that's why it becomes important to find that middle ground.
Right.
But like, it seems as if with some of the women I've seen, that doesn't really exist, because it's again the socialization of, okay, if I feel something, then
Right.
it should be satisfied.
Right.
So
Fair
if
enough.
there's that lack of grace on that.
Grace,
front.
so
Yeah,
that's true.
compromise.
I was just gonna say, no, I agree. Just for the wise words, let's go to somebody else's
Hot take.
somebody else's hot take or notes for the week.
Okay, my hot take is I hate the concept of giving someone, a white person, that exhibits some, like maybe dances to an Afrobeat song.
Invited to the cookout.
Woman in
Invited to the cookout.
That one guy from Sweden on TikTok. That one guy that has been
Wait, but what's the problem?
Okay,
Explain the problem to me. No, the Oluwa I hear.
Yes.
my favorite pasta and lobster.
please.
Like every time I cook pasta, they tell me I'm invited to the anti-pasti.
No, but why do you hate it? What's the problem?
I have that concept because, first of all, with the names, there's a lot of intention and a lot of meaning behind the people named. Behind Oluwa, behind what it means. So to just put that on someone just
because they dance.
And the fact that it's always Oluwa as well, like,
No, but it's very much.
Small shaku that should have been abolished. In
a shaki on the beat as well.
Well, that's very much like a diaspora thing.
It is.
It's a diaspora thing.
And like, funny enough, it's from the same members in the diaspora that will be doing fake weddings over in Canada, all this thing.
One house. Go on.
I'm saying even back home in Nigeria, right? People platform white people and be like, oh, Nigerian Oyibo, and then Oyibo will now move
Yeah,
back.
but they don't use I was speaking specifically to the names of saying
No, but
Oluwa
then,
this.
like, you've never check the
They won't call it. They won't say Oluwa Michael.
We do it in
No,
our country, I can't lie. No, we do it at home.
I've never seen.
Yes, they do.
I say like they'll give him an actual proper name. They won't say Oluwa Michael.
No, they'll give a proper name, but they'll also say Oluwa Michael.
Even Phantom and Kaiser like,
I agree with the proper name.
Oluwa Jack.
That's all diaspora thing.
But no,
They'll give you like Atinuke or something like
They're
that.
all
even that-
diaspora.
And then Oluwa Tim, Oluwa Jack.
Literally, all the Oluwas
It's a
I've
diaspora
seen
thing.
is diaspora.
I agree with that.
You've not seen all of them.
Fair enough.
Like Oluwa something or like
Oluwa Jack.
like
Yeah.
The worst part is that those two like halves of the names are the ones that actually mean God. So like
So it doesn't actually go to anything.
God Jack.
Gotcha.
I said,
Free yourself from the shackles of colonization. That's what I can say.
that's all we can say.
Free my people.
Free my people, bro. With that DJ babe that was playing Nigerian songs, that someone said that. So she will go into spaces and represent a space that a black person or a person of that culture could have represented. But
I don't agree with that.
I don't really agree.
I don't agree with that.
okay, no.
Especially not for DJs or random.
If it's DJ.
Trying to say is to be a white person in Afrobeats. When I say that because generally Africans like to put white people on a pedestal. They might be mediocre in their talent or craft, and someone that's been grinding.
Thank you.
For years.
I'm not gonna lie. You see that nigga that said Ariola on the road with a geezer? That's the most talentless motherfucker I've ever seen. Who? That guy that was like Ariola on the road with a geezer. I swear. Guys should.
RD.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so because this person's Caucasian, the person doors are being.
I saw that stuff.
He was in
I was there.
I'm so sorry. It's so flipping annoying.
It's annoying.
Effects of post-colonial.
I said Ariola.
Do you understand?
It's
It's a tongue twister.
Anyway, you get it.
Yeah, we got it.
Who else has
Anyways, my hot take is I hate when I go to a restaurant, right, and there are not that many people. Maybe there's 4 people on the table, and we order something, and the same waiter that took the order comes back and doesn't remember who ordered what. So they'll not be giving it to one person. I'll not be doing class captain. Oh yeah, you took the thing. You took the steak.
Tobi said, "Know your job."
In case it wasn't clear, Tobi's a card-carrying member of the
I've worked
bourgeoisie.
in
That's why
the
she has.
industry before, so I know when you're putting in the effort, and you now come and ask me to tip you again. I did your job. I did your job. I remember everyone's order. Please, do I get a tip?
I can't lie. Also, to slide into controversial topics, are you guys tipping in London?
No, I
No,
don't tip in
I
America.
can't.
Nope.
I don't even tip in America.
I tip
I mean,
sometimes.
No, I'll say that. I'll say that with my chest.
I tip sometimes.
There's always service charge
No
on
time
the
I'll
bill.
pay it.
No service charge.
Wait.
Yes.
Service
Oh
charge is
yeah,
already-
I heard somewhere that
Service
service
charge.
charge is optional. Why would you not
No,
pay
it's
that
not.
shit,
No,
bro?
it's optional.
It's
but
optional.
It's optional,
No,
but
but
it's-
you don't pay the service for shit.
So
Yeah, but like you would have to look the person in the eye
It's
and be like, I
mannerless.
don't
Okay,
want
but
to
the
pay
man-
for it.
I used to look them dead in the eye.
In the service-
Can you
in the
remove the
service-
service charge?
I've
please?
never done
No,
that.
but Penya, that's actually scary to me.
Well, no, no.
Almost
Service
everyone
charge is
done
12.5%.
Do you also know the truth?
It's
I
not
get it.
necessarily that it was too expensive.
Thank you.
It was just I didn't want to pay service charge, which is penny.
Yeah, but
Thank you.
Like American tipping culture is bullshit,
Yes,
by
it
the way.
was
Like
from a
I'm even
cost
gonna go on it.
perspective.
Bro,
Like,
That was not.
and the fact that you guys keep on saying, "Oh, don't eat at expensive
Thank you.
places."
Wait, hang on,
That's
hang
my
on.
point.
20p, 20p.
That's the thing, exactly.
Don't fuck your watch.
You're trying to say
Yeah.
word on that.
You wanna watch?
I'm just saying, right? Like, if you're saying you're a student and like your money matters, 100%. Like,
You're gonna
I
say
get
don't
it.
eat at expensive places. That's so damn.
No,
because
no,
you know
no.
the funniest thing?
Wait, hang on,
Literally
hang on,
2
hang on,
months
hang on,
ago,
hang on.
American restaurateurs, you saw them coming to Twitter.
I'm not talking about
to say,
America,
"Oh,
I'm talking
our
about
numbers
here.
are down in
I'm talking about here, not America.
Let me land.
Yeah, like-
Let him
Let
lie.
him
He was a
lie.
lie.
Nah.
These
But
are
you
brands.
stop that
These are
right now.
brands.
So, continue.
So yeah, like even in America, so obviously I use America because the tipping thing has been playing out for years.
Right.
Yeah,
And,
for
like,
sure.
there was this particular restaurant in Boston that now said, "Oh, I can't lie, you. We're going to have to fire some of our staff and reduce our hours because what's it called? People have stopped coming to the restaurant. Nobody's eating out anymore." That's a natural byproduct of you telling every single person that complains about these mandatory tips for years. Oh, if you're broke, just say so. If
Right.
you don't have money to eat out, just don't eat out. They just stop eating out. Like, bro, don't forget.
Oh, stop
Restaurants
eating
are
there.
already
Yeah.
restaurants are already
Stop eating
fighting
there.
to bounce back from COVID.
COVID,
And
yeah.
you're telling me I should pay your workers' wages as well.
Thank you.
That
That's
was
my
mad.
issue with it. Yeah.
Yeah, in America, I get it. I was talking about here.
I'm sorry, no.
No, but if it's
Especially when the
service
service
charge,
charge.
12.5%.
Let me tell you something.
Take
As I
it
said,
down.
okay,
I
I'm not
am
going to
more
pay
than
VAT.
happy to pay service
Like-
charge and even tip if the service is good.
That's fine.
If the-
Yeah,
but you're not
that's
going to
fine.
give me mid or horrible service and come and tell me there's a service charge. The way they even did, I looked at it and I looked at him and I said, they said, "Oh, I said, yeah, can you remove the service charge, please?" Because the service was so trash.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that, oh, because it's £1 or whatever, how many pounds you should be paying when someone. No, I want you to know that you should remove yourself from the service industry.
No, for sure. I'm not
Don't be in the
saying.
service
Alright,
industry if you don't
they
know
might
what to
jump in
serve.
for
Like
this.
I'm not
It's as simple
saying
as that.
I'm not saying pay it even when you didn't like the service. Like,
Right.
absolutely, if the service was trash, like take
Yeah.
it off.
Yeah.
I'll just say more like more times if people want to take it off and they're saying, "Oh, it's because there's no money," that just doesn't make sense to me. Because like it's like with anything VAT, right? Like if you're saying you only have like £200 in a week and you're going out and you're budgeting to spend £20, then spend £20 within including the service charge. Like it doesn't make sense
But
to
sometimes you
say
don't know what this place has service charge included or not. Sometimes
everywhere has service charge
No, but
included.
okay, well maybe now.
12.5%.
At the time,
At a point,
Everywhere.
at a
It's
point, no, at a
standard.
point in time, it
that's
wasn't
what I'm
always
saying. At the
included.
time,
At the time
when I
it
said
wasn't
no,
always
it
included.
wasn't a
lived there
thing.
for a while.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like
By the time when I said no, it wasn't a
12.5%
thing. Fair enough.
standard. So that's just what I'm talking about. Like, but yeah, if it's bad, take it off.
Another side note, just a mini hot take. I hate when we all go for birthday dinners and then at the end we're now arguing about who ordered what.
You know, the people that go to the back of the toilets, where do
Like,
they
I've
come?
been here before.
Come
No,
on.
no.
No, it's different if you order a bottle of champagne, pay for your champagne,
Yeah.
and then everything else, you minus the champagne from the bill, and then you divide everything else equally.
That's what I was
But
gonna
then
say.
when
There's some
you-
greedy
you
people.
say,
You guys can see Nari talking about champagne.
Dude, that's it.
When we eat the rich, you guys should start with.
Yeah, but then when you get all those perpetrators that'll not be like, my pasta was £11.50. I didn't order a cocktail.
Yeah.
So I'm
Please
gonna
take
pay
out the
$11.
service
See, that one,
charge.
that
These are
one,
not
that
the
one,
same.
no, but see, that one I agree. I hate when people are mannerless, but I feel like everything has to be done in consideration. So there's been some situations where, okay, we all go out. Let's assume the average meal is like 20 to, let's even say 30 to 35.
Sure.
And then someone goes to get the thing that's 60.
Okay, now
And then you
it's-
now
And
say,
then
oh,
you
everybody
come
should
and say,
split.
"Oh, split."
It's a
Eh,
life-
no,
that's
no,
If you're gonna
that's
get
what that's
of the
it.
sea, of the
It
land, of
depends,
the
though. It
combination,
depends.
It depends.
It
You
depends.
pay the
No.
40
It depends.
and it's
It depends.
22.
No.
It depends.
It depends, because sometimes.
Sharing plates.
Yeah.
No, of course, yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that
that
one.
one.
Yeah.
But also, let's say we go out to eat and there's 4 of us and I order a steak. My steak is £85. And then I say, oh, I ordered steak. I didn't order any drinks. You all ordered
Drinks,
like mains and cocktails. Some of you even had 2 cocktails per
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
So we
your-
just sat there
your-
and watched
your
each
shit
other.
may add up to
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
£85
yeah, of course.
steak.
Yeah, yeah.
You would have to share that steak.
So you just sat there and watched each other. You want to go?
You have to share that steak.
Should be like, guys, this is really good.
And that's really the moral of it. It's all about consideration, just doing things.
No,
right.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so who's next with the notes?
Yeah, so my hot take is basically I hate when people name drop like brands or items to create the illusion of a high-end lifestyle where you know them.
So
as the
I
business.
got the- I got the
Balenciaga
When I was with Ghana,
And some people are on this table.
2016.
Some people in this podcast are on this table that are being shaken.
2016.
when I was with Ghana.
I was in the kitchen with Ghana. We're cooking.
That time that I went for I don't know, DJ Spinon's concert and they took me backstage. Like I don't give a damn.
Like, what's
I
going
remember
on?
when Ghana.
I was just chilling with Slime the other day.
No, I was just saying with Jeffrey. Oh, you know
Yo,
him as
Jeffrey.
young
Oh, wait.
Tom.
I can't like.
Not Jeffrey, Timi.
I can't like, but like that's
yeah,
actually
so
Jeffrey.
I met Robin. Which Robin are you talking about?
That is crazy.
So the people context is annoying in itself.
Mhm.
But another thing I don't like is when it's like your everyday products. Be like, oh, I only shower with so and so from Aesop.
Nari,
it has to have
You're shaking the
Nari,
table when the table's about to
Nari,
break.
I'm so sorry. Like you shower. Congratulations.
Oh no!
It's
I
so-
spilled so. I
yeah,
spilled,
like,
I
at the
spilled
end
something
of
on my
the day,
Dior
it's so-
sweater. I hope I don't have to.
That shit, you put it on and it's gonna go down the drain.
Yeah.
So why is it?
That reminds me of that bit from Native Land 19. That was the
My
only one.
Gucci
Yo,
I even want my Gucci shoes to be
I
pussy.
was like, you're a nudge for crying out loud. Why are you wearing white shoes?
Those are the ones.
Do you know how I feel bad for in that entire scenario? I get man, bro. She made him stay up till like 3 a.m. to clean the shoe.
I remember
Nah.
that. I vaguely remember that.
Just
I vaguely
for that
remember.
man.
No, for
But
real.
yeah, no,
That is
that's
crazy.
something that.
And I
really
think it's
pisses
one
me off.
thing if watch the high-end product you're buying, you're
It's
talking
high-end.
about the fact that the ingredients work for you.
Mhm.
So there's
What
there's
types
some
of
high-end
name?
products that have good ingredients that meet specific needs. But when you're buying it just because it's
The
high-end, you
name
don't even know
brand,
anything
yeah.
about what it does.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just because it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, it's
Dior body
Dior,
wash.
yeah.
Do your
And that's how
homework.
we said that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Your
my
body.
hot take or my note for this week. When you see me out next weekend, guys, I want you guys not to forget this. I can't mind your business.
Hold on.
My hot take for this week is that we should cancel on my piano because wait.
No,
I know
wow.
you
No,
wait. I know that's what I said.
No.
Wait, guys, wait.
Calling the
When you
band
guys
black.
see me
No.
next week, I want you guys don't watch that. But anyways, cancel on my piano because South Africans are xenophobic.
You guys should.
And I'm
Wait,
tired of
wait,
it.
wait, wait, wait,
I'm
wait,
tired
wait.
of it.
See,
I'm tired of
I
it.
can't lie. Do you know why? Do you know why I think we should free that side?
What?
Because as an entity, can you beat your chest right now and say Nigerians are not xenophobic? Bear in mind, we are the ones behind Ghana.
I wouldn't say cancel something like an entertainment product because the people are, especially when
I
it's a
don't
country's
even.
entertainment
Ariel still
separate-
listens to R.
I don't
Kelly,
separate
clearly.
the artist
Wait,
from
wait,
the
wait,
artist.
slow down.
Can I ask
Tory
you
Lanez
guys-
was not in jail.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Not even that.
How do
I
we
mean,
as Nigerians treat foreigners in our country when they are not white?
True.
But then there are a lot of foreigners.
And
It
is it in
wait,
any,
nah,
is it in
it-
any way
it depends.
significant?
No,
to
no,
them?
no, no,
There are a
no.
lot of Togolese and whatever in Nigeria.
I didn't say that there are not a lot of
The
them, but
Indians?
how
He
do
said-
we
he said
treat
when
foreign
they're
They
not
people
treat
that are
they
not
treat
white?
Indians basically like premium citizens. They treat Chinese like premium citizens.
Yeah.
Lebanese as well.
They based on
Lebanese,
jobs, the
yeah.
Lebanese. So that's
Okay.
entirely
Because
true.
How do we treat the
they come
Ghanaians?
to us
How
not
do we
as
treat the
immigrants,
That's a
Togolese?
very
but as
How do we treat
specific-
the Malians? How do we treat the Nigerians? How do we treat the...
They
I
have
think-
jobs.
I feel like even if an Ethiopian person came to Nigeria, they'll still be valued higher than the African.
Yeah, true.
It's about how you look. It's colorism.
It's like how you look and
In
where you
South
are.
Africa, it's pure racism. It's like
South Africa
white
is still going through
and black.
apartheid.
That's really
It's still going
that's
through
the tea.
apartheid.
Piano, piano.
I get your
But
point,
when
though.
you see me next
I
week,
get your wider
actually,
point.
But I
I
wouldn't
get your
say cancel the music.
Ghana must go to say very
because it's different from
specific.
art and artists.
Of more
Of
like
course,
a-
of course, yeah, no.
Very
It's a
charged.
hot
Yeah.
take. Yeah.
Because
No,
that's, at the end
sorry,
of the
we
day, that's
can't.
a culture
We'll be in the
to
club.
them.
I would only be dancing to my piano next week. I'm going for my piano event. So when you guys see me doing that, don't watch
I
this.
can't lie.
Yeah?
Please don't cancel. I'm a
They
piano.
said
fan,
cancel
man.
it, but like,
Go to my
cancel it,
party. After my party, cancel it.
Cancel
You
it,
see,
but I'm
no,
a vibe.
and especially that proper like pure unfiltered South African piano where they'll be doing all that. When they'll start doing all this, all this stuff.
You know the on the most recent Black Panther film, whatever, the you know they do the music for it.
The soundtrack.
Jele.
DBN, go.
I'm so sorry. And they kept it under 4 minutes. Miraculous stuff.
Not under 4 minutes.
That's
I like Amapiano 6 minutes plus.
Even the Amapiano remix of all these
it
Western
was
songs. You see that Rihanna's Kiss the Best Amapiano remix?
Oh, I've not heard that. I've not heard that.
Sad girls love money.
Yeah. Piano.
Period. Has everyone done their hot take?
Yeah.
All right.
Timi, have you done yours?
Man,
You already know what the fuck going on.
I know what the fuck going on. My hot take. That's deep. Okay, yeah. I'd say, why did I hate when people live for social media. Like, enjoy your life, you know. Like,
Before we even start talking about that, because I like that hot take, let's get into today's episode. I hate when people live for social media. That's great. That's great. What is the weirdest thing you guys have ever posted or done on social media that in hindsight, you're like, that was cringe? It could be that year when we're all like 12 and we just joined to Instagram. What is the funniest or the weirdest thing you've ever done?
I think I got new shoes and I posted it on Instagram and I put it on top of the box as well.
Oh,
But this was years ago. Like,
that's a flex.
back then.
no, but do you know those like high top shoes that had the studs on top as well?
Yeah.
This was like 2011, 12. I was a child.
I think mine.
And deep down, that Instagram is still up somewhere, and I don't remember the name. So if you come,
you still have it.
I don't have it. I can't find the name.
But you know the account's still there.
I never deactivated it, so it's still there.
Yeah. I will search for it.
Man, good luck.
I think mine is
What yours
similar.
is?
Good. I don't remember.
Okay.
Mine is similar in the sense that, do you remember the Tumblr days where you had to position everything in an aesthetic manner?
Oh, right. We're still
Starbucks
living in that kind of time right now. Yeah.
But I see that shit and I cringe.
Oh,
Because,
fair.
like, I remember, like, I think we went on a family holiday and I was maybe like 13, 14 at the time. I got my first MacBook. There was some other items. I thought.
Just
I
arrange it.
positioned it on the balcony because we weren't to, you know, like a table on the balcony.
Yeah.
You know, when it's like, I'm a student, I'm in school.
Yeah, but it's flex.
I'm
Like,
young.
yeah,
Like worker.
Yeah,
But
cool.
I positioned it like
As if
I
you're
work-
walking like you're in Starbucks.
Tumblr.
That's actually so
Don't lie.
true.
That shit went platinum.
It's not platinum.
No, you don't lie.
and
That shit went platinum on Tumblr.
Not platinum.
I wanted to say, she just reminded me, I think one time, I was just in GS1 or something, or maybe SS1, and I went away on holiday on midterm. You know, you don't go away on midterm.
Right.
But somehow I went away for some reason. And I remember on Twitter, I'm like, I'm missing you so much, just in London.
Yo,
When I saw that, I was like,
that era.
Tobi, what is going on here? I miss my girl so much.
That's not very era.
Just
Like,
in London. Change your status to London.
just landed in London.
Okay, mine is kind of fucked up. But like, so when I was like 10 or 11, right, I was quote unquote dating this girl, right? So like, some kind of like, oh,
What? So hard to
No, because like, at 10 years old,
Club.
at 10 years old, can you,
10? Oh, yeah.
at 10 years old, can you really say that a relationship is real? Do you grab?
See, anything after, actually, anything before year 11, I don't consider a relationship.
Yeah.
Even 11 is kind of quick, but sure, either way, yeah.
11, yeah.
So I was 10, obviously. Like, exactly. I was 10, obviously. There was this babe, Avian, that I have a crush on you. She too, she has a crush on me. So obviously, we're in a relationship. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now, my parents basically surprised me because my cousins came to visit from Canada, right? And they now surprised me by basically, they bought me a ticket to Canada to go back with my cousins and spend the summer with them.
That's
But what they now did is they tricked me because they packed my bags. They now told me, oh, I should go to the airport to drop my cousins. But when I go to the airport, they said, surprise, you're going to Canada. I said, what the fuck?
They did that to me too. I can't
So,
lie to you first.
Obviously, at this point, I was literally on the phone with my quote-unquote babe when, like, my auntie pulled up and was like, oh, do you want to drop us at the airport? So, obviously, at one point, I literally told you, I'm going to call you back. And you now didn't hear from me for like 3 days, bro. So I know landed in Canada.
Was it the landline era?
Catch
Bro,
price.
it was no. guys are just
Bro, it
started
can't be
using like
landline.
phones and data and shit. So
So
that's
how
how
did you
now.
know Lian had
No,
3 days?
I landed in Canada because I was on the flight. I didn't have a proper phone.
He's
back
a
then. Like,
kid.
guys had
Even when
phones.
you land,
I didn't have a
you
phone.
can't.
You grab.
So
Back
what
then-
what call did you what
And then
call did you use to call
that's
her?
exactly what I'm about to
Okay,
say.
okay.
Yeah, because like back then I didn't have social media, anything. So I now got there and I remembered, what
Have
the
a
fuck am I going to
girlfriend.
do? How am I going to Yana? They're going to break up me. So I now decided, you know what? I'm going to disobey my parents' instructions. They told me I couldn't use social media. I went to go and make a Twitter account. And I followed her. Her and Nicki Minaj were the first 2 people I followed. Guy, and I still remember. I know went to go and tweet. I tweeted one paragraph. I said,
Mr.
bro,
70 body.
I tweeted at this babe. I said, hi, I'm so sorry. Your parents surprised you with a trip to Canada. I know I said I'll call you back. Please. I put please in capital letters. I said, please don't break up with me. And I tweeted this for the entire world.
My
See, bro.
Is that tweet still up?
No. Like, so what happened is in like 2016, 17, there was this service you could use where you put in your ads and they'll show you your first tweet ever. So like me and my cousins were now doing this and we're having
What
fun.
is that app?
They now decided to check my own. Just said, Kiitan, wait, what's that?
What is that app? Because no, I would like to use that.
Please,
I think it's still on.
Really? That's what
Like, yo.
It is crazy.
Please don't break up.
No, I can't like mine is. Oh my
And they're so
God.
quick with it, you know?
Yeah.
What?
Like once celebrity is no longer like
Yeah, they
goes
start
out to
because they put
favor.
their ads and they put races.
Quickly.
They add black people.
Yeah.
They add
Nigga.
N-word. Exactly.
With a hard R.
I've been
Exactly.
setting my name
Hard
with
ER.
problematic words every
Yeah,
couple
me too. I
years,
can't
so
lie.
just check.
I'm not gonna say the word, but do you remember the time that we used to
Yeah.
nickname? No, that time that whenever someone took your account and
They
tweeted
read
something,
Yeah.
That is.
I went to Twitter. I put that word. I started deleting it.
that one time.
There was a word. Did you hear what he said? There's a time that whenever, if, for
The
example, I
hard
see your phone and
buffer.
I got in trouble for real bad words.
The hard R.
I
the
don't
hard
say
R.
the
This
word,
slurs,
but
like, I
like, there was a
can't-
time that whenever someone took
No
your phone,
cap.
the word they used was like the one that ends with R. And
It ends with
So it
R.
starts with R. Whoopsies. So my own thing with social media, I think the thing that I regret the most is that at some point I was very much convinced that I was a tiger.
Like,
Oh my God.
Well, like your
Yeah.
spirit
Let
animal
me-
was a tiger
no,
or
I
that
thought
you,
I
Pena,
was.
was
Pena
it?
was a tiger. And at that time, what you guys know as my Instagram handle used to be called Pens a Sexy Tiger. And not only that, no, we took it.
See how we
We
read.
took it. Yeah. We
No,
took
you
it.
look so concerned.
We took it a bit further, right? You know,
Who is it? Who is it?
me, Penny Anifoshi. When I say we, I'm referring to me.
Proud of my class.
We took it a bit further, and the first picture. Well, I don't know if it was the first. But one of the first pictures I ever posted on Instagram was me, where I had drawn the nose and the whiskers.
I've seen that photo.
So basically, you're a furry.
What does that mean?
That
Don't
means,
worry about
no,
You know what
You're furry.
What
You're
is that?
furry.
Don't worry
you're
about
furry.
it.
Topic for another
Let's
day.
talk about that.
Yeah.
Timmy's hot take was
okay.
Look up in your persona.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so me something was about social media. So let's get into the next.
Yes.
Let's get into the next one. I'm gonna Google what that word means. Anyways,
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't.
so okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
I
after
mean, it's
this,
not
so
that bad
don't
to be
worry.
fair.
If-
It's not that bad.
If social media platforms were a party, who would be the life of the party and who would you try to avoid?
As in,
Like in terms of people we know, or like.
If social media platforms were a party.
Oh.
So when you get to
if
the party,
TikTok
if there
was
were
a
people,
party.
if you get to the party and there are people, which one would you want to socialize with and which one would you avoid?
I would socialize with Twitter, avoid Facebook.
Do you know the funniest thing?
Do you
These
know-
days,
I would
especially
avoid
since the
Twitter.
Elon takeover, Twitter is
I'd
a
avoid
fucking
Twitter, bro.
weirdo
It's a
right
Yeah,
now.
mess. It's a
yeah.
mess.
Kind of guy that'll be scaring the whole
Sorry,
world.
X.
Yeah.
It's X.
Actually,
X.
it's true. You don't start writing
Yeah.
something
I
and
agree.
then the next conversation will be something left. Yeah, avoid Twitter, maybe.
I'm the only one here that doesn't have Twitter.
Really?
I don't
Yes.
have. I don't have Twitter. I got hacked.
But like, have you ever had
He
Twitter?
had
He
Twitter.
did, he
She
had
never had
Twitter.
Twitter.
Oh, you've never had it
Yeah,
at all?
Never.
Wow.
She really, she
You
stood
went-
her
you went in
ground.
that era.
Yeah, me too.
Anti-era.
Me too.
Nah.
Actually, but you have TikTok though.
Yeah, but I literally just downloaded TikTok February 2022.
Oh,
I don't
fab.
use
But that's not
TikTok.
just. That's 2 years ago, love.
Yeah, but still. Like,
Compared to when people
compared
had it.
to-
To 2020.
TikTok. TikTok.
Yeah,
I
because
think
everyone had
TikTok,
TikTok.
I know TikTok
and
blew
then
during the pandemic, but a lot of people had
It
it.
was
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
2019, 2020 that
Yeah.
TikTok became big.
Because everyone
Yeah,
was
that's when I got
dancing.
it as
Bear
well.
in mind that
And
before,
now,
bear in
to
mind
this
that
day,
before
I
like
regret
2019,
not dancing on
2020,
TikTok.
TikTok was
That
chill.
was
Like,
really
Right.
I wouldn't need
Oh
to
yeah, I was
walk.
Vimeo. That's
Exactly,
true.
but now no, it's not
Actually,
like
it was
that.
February 2023 that I made a TikTok account.
Yeah.
In fact, funny enough, technically I've had TikTok since like because TikTok used to
Was
be music.
musically.
So if you had a
And I
musically
never
account, you have a
But it
TikTok
wasn't
account.
musically Vine. Was that a different
Musically-
thing?
No,
Vine
Vine
was
was
Vine.
Vine, yeah, Vine
Vine
is
was
cancelled, bro.
Vimeo.
Not cancelled, but it's not. a thing
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Vine was a Vimeo.
They
Okay.
sold to them.
I'm not gonna lie. What you guys said about Twitter, that's how I feel about TikTok. I feel like TikTok will be that person that's a bit of a weirdo. It's like you never really know what you're gonna get. That's how I feel like me.
On your For You page, though.
It maybe if it's my For You page, yeah, I would love to socialize with them. That would be if it's my For You page, that would be my ideal person. I would say Instagram, but Instagram is gonna be such a snob because she's gonna be like, oh my god, look at me, I'm better than everyone. That's how I see Instagram.
I think the only place to be that'll be the life party would be LinkedIn. That's what I.
LinkedIn is that guy. Do you remember that guy that tweeted?
Reddit can be a scary place.
Reddit?
As in, no,
Huh?
Reddit can be-
Reddit can be a scary
Reddit is
place.
scary.
bro.
No, I love me some Reddit.
It
Reddit
can
is
be
full of
The
stuff.
guy that said he came and asked because he wanted to see what was going on.
Do you remember that guy a couple years ago that tweeted, "Oh,
Yeah,
I tried to talk to the organizers of Notting Hill Carnival so we could have an investment flows where people could talk about property investment." That's what
LinkedIn will be, for sure.
LinkedIn will be wearing a turtleneck.
Dude, Carnival.
My girlfriend broke up with me. Let me tell you how that told me about business. That would be LinkedIn. That would be LinkedIn. Have you not seen those posts?
Sorry. But nah, I get that because LinkedIn, I find LinkedIn so oppressive.
It's so obnoxious.
It was a joke, by the way.
Oh, okay, fair.
You're taking me serious.
Fine, but I actually find LinkedIn so oppressive.
It's a
Like, hi guys, I just got into Harvard.
No, for real.
No. The first they'll say, "Oh, I got rejected by X."
Yeah,
But
75.
Don't give up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Okay, so do you guys believe in taking social media breaks? Why or why not? And have you ever taken one?
I
Sure.
took my first one like
Oh,
last week.
congratulations.
Last because I wanted to.
You went to what?
I was going through a lot.
Oh, okay.
I was PMSing. You know when you PM that 1 week where
Yeah.
you feel like everyone's against
I
you.
get what you mean.
And I was like,
How long was it? How long?
it was for like 2 days because I wanted to show someone. No. but I
It's a
didn't
break
realize-
now.
No, I didn't realize you can only deactivate your Instagram once a week. That's silly.
Yeah, it's one
Oh, I didn't know
No,
that.
because once you deactivate and then like,
What's
go
if I
back
feel
to
okay? I want to send something to
Why?
someone.
Why not just delete it?
That's why people
Just
go
tell
on
them,
the web.
like,
The people go on the
yeah.
web. The web one.
Fair
No, the
enough.
web-
I didn't
no, it
realize that, so
still-
I
it reactivates
activated
you
it by
from the-
mistake. And it's hard. But yeah, no, I was triggering myself because apparently my Explore page was full of like some stuff. I was like,
Fair
yeah,
enough.
This is too much.
Too
I
much.
wanna.
Interesting.
All right. What about you guys?
Yeah.
I don't.
Go on.
You guys are bad. You share your Explore page on this
I was
pod.
just saying, like,
If you guys are
it's-
bad, you all share your Explore page on this pod.
I know.
Yeah,
Please go
Why
ahead.
not?
so I can do
Why
it right
not?
now.
Not right now. Let's keep pushing.
Yeah, I think like it's with most things in life, right? Like having
Mhm.
breaks with things, because with the whole social media, whether it's like X, Instagram, whatever, it can be very consuming,
Right.
especially
Mm.
because it's so easy to like just open it up and then you find yourself. I mean, you could open it and you just wanted to do one thing, and then like 100, you're like 100 things out there.
No,
and
literally.
yeah, so I think it is incredibly important to have those moments where you're just like, okay, let me just relax.
Yeah.
And I think even there's a wider piece on the amount of time we spend on social media as well. I
Mm.
think that really needs to be it's something we should all individually be monitoring and making sure we're actually living our lives and not just doom scrolling.
I'm not gonna lie.
I tend,
Go ahead.
sorry. I tend not to take concerted social media breaks, mainly because I feel as though the way I am, every so often, like naturally, I will eventually, like sometimes I'll just wake up and realize, I haven't really touched my phone or text anybody on social media in like 2 days. But what I do try and do very actively is that, especially since Elon took over Twitter, shout out to you again.
Shout out to you.
I feel
Shout
as though
out to you.
everybody's timelines and not like the
It's
following page, the
skewed.
for you on the timeline has been so skewed with just rubbish. And
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
one thing I've noticed and I've tried to be very cognizant of, I feel as though there is so much gender-based discourse on Twitter that is like, if you're not careful,
It's
it's even possible
exhausting.
for you to get pulled into the points where you're just sitting down in your yard and you're thinking, oh, the problem with babes is they did
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's not even like
yeah,
you hate
yeah,
women or anything, but you get what I mean.
yeah.
It's
It's
like,
very exhausting.
what
I
I
agree
do
with
is
that.
I try and go on like sprees where I'll literally take a day and I'll sit down for an hour. I'll literally any tweet I see that mentions who is
You
paying
have
on
to
the
use
first
them.
date,
Mhm.
anything.
You have to
So
use
I will,
them.
sometimes
I
I'll
always
even
just
block the
put-
guy.
Yeah.
And one thing I've been
I've been
doing,
doing
one thing I've
people.
been doing, all those OnlyFans babes in the comments, I block all of them.
Yeah.
So that like all I'll
There's-
now see on the next
bro,
post
there's
is
so many,
this is a tweet from an
bro.
account you have blocked.
Yeah.
There are actually so many. Like,
Yeah.
and they come up like.
No, you
it's
don't have
either
Twitter. How
there's-
do you know this?
I'm talking about Instagram as well.
Okay.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah, I've never seen on Instagram.
no, I have.
I've never seen OnlyFans on Instagram. I'll be
I
real.
yeah, because they're both in both places. Just with
Face.
Twitter, like it's
Yeah.
easier because you can just spam. With Instagram,
I
it's
kind of like
select
Instagram, yeah.
posts.
It's usually
Like,
for
bro.
scams. Instagram is usually for
Yeah,
scams. They will
scams,
create
like-
bots.
Really?
All those
Those
bots.
babes are so
What
annoying.
happened?
My page is private. Maybe.
Oh,
you
fair
guys
enough.
get it, yeah.
Someone
That's
took
so
my
annoying.
picture.
Somebody
Somebody
will
on
tweet
my
for-
You
fans.
get rogue follows though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do get followers, and then
That's
we won't
quite
have any mutuals.
Yeah,
It's so used
yeah,
to
yeah,
it
yeah,
there.
yeah. It's, even Snapchat as well. But I do agree because I feel like for me, Snapchat,
now,
you
that
bought
one's
so they'll be
clear.
adding
Have
you.
seen-
But I feel like my issue with Twitter now is that it's kind of becoming like TikTok, where like you engage with one post one time,
Yes.
and then your whole page.
But
You
isn't
open
that
Insta
every
blog
social media,
one
though?
time.
No, it's definitely.
I have to
targeted.
block them. You open it one time, and then you just have a bunch of I'm not elitist. Annoying Nigerian people in the comments talking about why your wife should cook for you, why da 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 da. Like you open, literally, it's
Why
so
should
annoying. That's why I told my
I'm not
friends.
even gonna lie. I knew there were lots of us around the world, but like genuinely, Twitter makes it so. I genuinely think like there might not be a more annoying nationality.
No,
in the
for
world,
real.
like online than us.
They
Like,
posted.
I'm
Someone
not even
posted this thing about like, oh, this man. It was so, and I think the issue with like, and I'm gonna get to my own point, like answering the question after. But like, the one thing that's really annoying is that Nigerians, especially all these blogs, they do a lot of rage bait, which annoys me because it's like that is what they thrive on. I saw this thing of man something with gay son. Why do you have to do? You know what Nigerians are gonna say about that?
I can't
like
lie.
this.
This blog blocked since.
Yeah.
But that's a comment for like any media.
No, I agree, but it's like I don't want to see it. And the fact that
ever
somebody will send me
since-
something funny and then I see all of that coming on my field is
But
annoying.
you know, ever since Kiitan's favorite person bought the app and he's made it like a paid platform, right? People now purposely rage bait because the more viral you go, the more you get paid.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's poverty in the land.
Yeah.
And granted,
No, unfortunately.
yes, now and granted, like it's so sad, but
Yeah.
like this is how I guess some people do get paid off that, and that's how they live. So like,
And that's
Yeah,
why-
it's,
but-
not, it's not an
Do
excuse.
you guys see
Well,
that
that-
video of
yeah,
that
it's
woman
not
that told her
It's
kid
not
had
an
to say the
excuse,
N-word?
but that is their reason.
One white woman told her kid had to say the N-word, and the thing obviously because black people were upset, it
Went
blew
viral.
up. And she was like, "Thank you guys for paying my kids' fee."
And that's what I
something
was
like
gonna
that.
say. Please, guys need to stop.
You need to know when to not engage.
Yeah.
Know when you're actually being used for bait.
Like,
I feel like
sometimes
at this
I'll
point,
say
guys
tweets,
know they can
I
anger the
want to
black
Yeah.
community.
I'll
with
fix
it.
this for them. Ah, Tobi, what's going on here? Just
Yeah.
me
Me
too.
too.
It's not that deep. Like
Yeah.
move on.
But you know, I don't.
And because
like,
low-key,
comment
you don't do that
publicly
stuff to actually like, you don't do that stuff to correct the behavior of the person you actually think has done or said anything wrong. You do it to get retweets and likes from people who already think the exact same thing. you do.
Exactly.
So you're literally just playing to your bait.
Yeah.
It's been
But,
in like an echo
Like I
chamber.
was saying, I don't actually like comment on things that don't involve me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I see, I scroll,
I swipe. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not the type to
I've had
like-
to learn that, you know.
Yeah.
I've had to
because
learn that.
I'm tired to be like, okay,
Yeah, same.
How exhausting must it be, right, to see a tweet and every time you feel the need?
It rings.
No way.
Yo, you should know if you're my close friend, you should know.
One of
know
my
the
friends,
vibes?
one of my friends, I won't tell you her name. We're all hanging out. She entered the yard and she was just like, man, I can't lie. I'm engaged in one serious Twitter battle. Man.
Yeah, no.
I
On
love,
the
I
comments
love
is
making
crazy.
white men cry on Twitter. And I'm just like, there was one day in particular when like, bro, some nigga actually came and like, they misheard her to the point where she cried. And my problem with this kind of thing is that like, by the time that she's now done that and she's now crying, obviously, me and the rest of all her friends now have to now go and enter Twitter and now reply to Twitter and be like, you are stupid. Why are you insulting
I
her?
know who you're talking about.
Come on, bro. Like,
I know who you're talking about.
I never.
No, I definitely.
Wait, was it outrageous?
No, the guy was horrible. He was
Right.
just being but it was one of. Anyways, let's keep that topic. Let's get into what I said about detox. Let me answer, and then we'll go to the next question. For me, there was a time I never believed in detoxing. I thought, like, what was the point? Like, I can't lie. Whenever I heard someone saying, "Oh my God, I'm going on a break," whenever I used to hear people say like, "Oh, I'm going on a break," I'm thinking, "What the hell's wrong with you? Why? Like, just put your phone down." I don't know.
Announcing a social media break defeats the purpose of a social media.
I mean, fair enough, but
Yeah.
for me, I just didn't understand the concept at some point until I feel like later, I just want to say last year, where it's like I was going through a tough time, and what I was saying, I was like, I can understand why people be annoyed by this.
But is your issue that because they were announcing it? You know, some people just like, oh, I will, like, did you deactivate?
No, I
And
couldn't.
then you
No,
were like,
I didn't
oh,
have
I'm
an
on a
issue.
break.
I didn't
Did you
have
have
an issue
with that? Or did you have an issue with, oh yeah, I'm going on a break and I'm going to delete my Twitter?
I didn't have an issue with people saying I'm going to break. I didn't understand.
No, sorry, okay, that's my question.
Yeah, I didn't understand
Did
why.
Did you understand? So was the issue you not understanding the fact that they're announcing it, or is the fact that they're not announcing it?
I didn't understand why people went on breaks.
Fair enough.
Because I'm like, why do it? I'm sorry, I used to be that person. If something's annoying you, just don't let it annoy you. Like, in terms of, like, social media, I was like, if you see something, just swipe. Like, it's social media. Like,
Fair enough.
so I was like, I didn't understand when people said they went on breaks, because people will say, whenever at that time when I used to hear people saying they're going on breaks, it's mental health breaks. Because they're like, we're getting too much. And I'm thinking, people are always going to say rubbish now. Just because I didn't understand it.
Fair enough.
Until I feel like I went through something and I was like, oh, there's a lot of triggering things on social media, which takes me to our next question. Have you set any boundaries to protect your mental health and stay focused on your personal goals when dealing with things on social media?
Say that again, please.
Have you ever set any boundaries with social media to protect your mental health or like stay or focus on your personal goals?
So I assume this is kind of touching on the whole idea of comparisons.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, setting boundaries, isn't that like
blocking and muting people.
Yeah. Or whatever you consider a boundary.
It builds on what I
A
said.
boundary, yeah.
This is like 2,000 strong.
Yeah, exactly. And I mute words as well.
Yeah. Something that I don't want to engage in. I mute a lot of words.
I even mute. Sorry, there's some of my friends love you to bits, but you're muted because you're trying shit all the time. Like, you see, every day you have something.
But wait,
Some of my close friends
Hang
are
on.
really annoying about
Let's not lose sight on the purpose of the question. It's not just about like blocking or muting based on this person is just yelling nonsense, but it's more specific about how it relates to your own aspirations and things you want to do, right?
Right.
Okay. Me, fundamentally as a person, I don't compare myself to others because at the end of the day, no two people are the same. Even if we have the same goal, your journey to get there isn't the same as my journey. What you're going through isn't the same as what I'm going through. So I tend to not compare myself to others just because that's the mentality that I have.
Right.
And also at the same time, because I'm such an introvert and also a homebody at the same time, I find that like I would just go days without being on socials. So I find that like I've never sitting here and hearing that people deactivate their accounts. It's not news to me, but it's something that I've never actively done because I just naturally
Thoroughly,
engage.
There's that distance.
I find that so interesting because, and I guess it's just a human being thing, or individual thing, where people only compare themselves when someone is winning. But do you ever think, oh yeah, I'm going through trials and tribulations? Is Peniel going through trials and tribulations? I don't compare myself when you're going through your trials and
Right.
tribulations.
I agree.
But it's such like it's not
interesting.
sick, but it's just something you don't think about. It's only oh, Peniel's winning. Okay, I'm why too am I not winning?
Well, I think that's also because
happens.
there's a lot of fakeness on social media because people don't post the realness of it. People only post when they're enjoying. And I'm nobody's saying that come and say you're depressed or whatever. No one's saying come like if you do that's cool, but no one's saying that you have to do that. But it's one of those things where because there's a lot of like you see like, and even me, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I had to, like I said earlier, I think last year I had to put a lot of like steps for my own mental health when it came to like a lot of boundaries for my own mental health when it came to social media because I was going through a tough time. And then you go on social media and you see people your age and you're thinking, do they have two heads? Like sometimes it's tough. Yeah. So it's like even though you can easily say like, okay, maybe when you're winning, you see someone winning, you don't care that they're winning. Not that you don't care, but like if I'm winning and if I'm traveling a lot and I see someone traveling a lot, okay, we're doing the same thing. Cool. Good for you, exactly. But if I'm suffering and I'm seeing someone living their best life, I'm like,
that is so true.
Like everyone is like, is it only me? Why is it only me? There's always, yes.
I think like when I'm suffering, I don't really grow.
Right.
And that's another thing that I hate. I hate this new narrative that I guess it's our generation that has like crafted it where it's like, get your money up, secure your bag. I hate
Secure the
those
bag.
phrases.
Secure the bag as
I
a
need
phrase, though.
No,
but in the context that we use it today, it has never been more used than it has been today.
That's just the proliferation
I think our
of
hustle
media.
culture.
I bought a BMW at 25. Get your money up.
It's
Come on
mass
now.
media, though.
Sign up to that
Somebody
LLC.
got their driver's
Incorporated.
license, something that people do on a daily, and they're like, "Oh, got my driver's license today. What were you doing? Sleeping like a dickhead."
Exactly.
That is flexing on another level.
We all have to stay 24 hours in a day.
I find stuff like that is so stupid that it's not even worth like thinking
Engaging,
twice
yeah.
about. Because just
but
because
I
you're
keep
working
going
hard
the
doesn't mean that I'm not working hard.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
And even if you're not working hard, let's assume you might even be in a situation where you can't work hard.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's all right.
I feel like it's the concept of like I feel like there's this obsession with our age with being wealthy in your 20s, and I feel like that's the expectation that I had for myself because I like everyone made it seem like your 20s, you graduate, you get a job, you're rich, you're up, you're stuck. But like it's not, it's a process, and I feel like some people in their process might be like that, but not everyone's process is like that. And I feel like even when some people's process are not like that, the people are obsessed with that idea of making it look like that. Like, oh, at 23, I bought this, I'm wearing Van Cleef, I bought a Van Cleef myself. Like, come on, bro.
I also think it boils down to the era we're in right now. So like, technology is readily accessible. Social media is so like, as much as you say that, okay, this wasn't happening before, it was probably happening before.
We just couldn't see it.
It was more insular.
It's
funny enough.
Right.
It's probably in the news, and
Exactly.
the news wasn't really accessible to everybody.
Globalization.
But now it's like you're on social media, you're just scrolling. Okay, yeah, I bought this, I did this. Most times people are just
Doing
they're doing it to
their lives,
like get a reaction out of it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you bought a new house. You don't even know if that's a mortgage or the person hasn't fully paid for the house.
The fact is, bro.
But the
We
thing is
had that one friend.
And I have to celebrate. You understand?
Yeah,
So
secured my first house at 24.
No, not even that.
But I also think, like,
that was-
in and of
sorry.
itself, it should be. Fuck, I just lost my entire train.
No, go ahead.
Um,
Okay, let me
come
give you
back.
I think when it comes,
No,
what I was gonna say is
yeah.
because I think I've always been somebody who has found it easy to keep it in his head that like social media is not real life.
Right.
Like, fortunately or unfortunately, that hasn't been as big of an
Right.
issue for me. It's not that I don't feel that like comparison, but I feel as though because of who I am, I'm far more likely to compare myself to the people around me than I am. So I'll be like, this person's getting up and going to work. I'm still
Right.
looking for a job. Do you grab?
Yeah,
I
The
think
only
it's
place that I would say
certainly-
in terms of social media that has actually ever like that will continually keep on like putting in my face, oh shit, this person has motion, this person has been doing shit. Like, what have you been doing? LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why
LinkedIn really.
I stopped playing
When
that
you get
game.
that notification,
Do you know what? Do you know what?
when you
I
get a
think-
notification, congratulate X person on 3 years.
Honestly, I think
it's an oppressive platform.
No, but
I don't think it's a present. I think it
didn't
takes.
post for
Get that vibe from
you.
LinkedIn. What?
When my work anniversary came, I didn't even realize my work anniversary. My mom
posted,
messaged
yeah.
me privately.
Yeah.
But I didn't want it to. I didn't want
Yeah,
anyone to
I know someone
know.
that happened to too.
So I think-
Because it doesn't
It's just a
automatically.
notification.
Yeah.
No, like
It's
it was
not-
a
it
post.
was
It was
like,
a post,
congratulations,
and then
and
Yeah,
Tobi
it's like
did that.
yeah, like
But,
It's
and
not
people
paid.
wonder why is he doing that? Twitter doesn't do it when it's my birthday.
It's
Yeah,
to
yeah,
generate
I mean,
engagement.
But why
sure,
does he do that?
Because
It's
don't
weird.
forget, I think you
No,
guys
it's
need
not.
to remember at the end of the
See.
day that like these social media platforms, like we are not the customer, the ad services are the customer.
Yeah.
So
Right.
when they're sending
As
out that
someone that works
notification
in
of congratulate Tobi, they want 3, 4, 5 of your friends to enter the LinkedIn app
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
look at ads while they're wishing
Yeah.
you that congratulations so that they can sell.
I think
Right.
ultimately, like having said all that, I think social media generally, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever, I think we can all agree that it takes a certain level of maturity to understand that separation, as Kiitan said, between like real life, what's around you, what affects you,
Right.
and like the virtual. Like, yeah, just don't take it too seriously.
But
I think the reason why LinkedIn can be perceived as aggressive is because that is, in essence, kind of more realistic than Instagram. Like someone saying they have a job on LinkedIn is verified compared to like seeing someone's Lamborghini randomly on
Right.
Instagram.
Yeah.
So I get why that's why it feels more oppressive.
Right.
But
And also, I also feel like on LinkedIn, I can't lie to you, Osha. The achievements that guys are getting on LinkedIn are things that I am actually like capable of being jealous of. Do you
Yeah.
grab like
Yeah.
if I see you post on a Ferrari on your Instagram, okay, that's completely
That's
well
cool.
and good.
Yeah,
I can't
try.
But like I can't lie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I can't.
I feel at the back of my mind.
License.
I feel at the back of my mind that even if I had that kind of money right now,
I will be
anyways,
buying a
I'm not
Ferrari.
even sure if it's a
Yeah,
Ferrari. But do you grab?
Exactly.
So that doesn't
No,
matter.
I agree
But
with
me,
that.
as I'm sitting here right now, I want job. I want
Yeah,
stable
yeah,
income.
yeah,
Guys on
yeah.
LinkedIn are showing their job and it's
yeah.
really
Yeah.
nice.
Fair enough. I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
very
that's fair
valid.
enough. But that takes me to the next question: is have you ever? Well, you just answered that, but for the rest of you guys, have you ever felt pressured by things that people have posted on social media?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's mine over silly things.
I think
Mine is over silly things.
Like what?
Like losing weight.
Okay.
LV airport.
Okay.
Like
That's silly shit.
That time that Louis already posted that video of him
never
with the
felt
Louis Vuitton
oppressed
airport.
or
Or
I feel
Zempi.
like I don't know if that's
Zempi.
completely truthful. Because it's one thing to feel it and then not then feel the overwhelming like
Yeah.
jealousy.
Pressure.
But
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fact
yeah.
that you say you don't feel it at all. like,
Yeah.
it's
I felt
a
it.
bit-
Fair enough.
yeah, it's
Because
like-
no, you can definitely feel oppressed. Like I remember there was a time in my life when I had just graduated school and I hadn't gotten a job.
Mhm.
And LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, I can't
evil
lie.
you
They
have
say count your
done.
days. I like you though, but they say count your days.
LinkedIn, the evil you have done.
Oh wow.
LinkedIn premium user, stand up.
That's what to me. She's
Yeah,
supposed to be a little influencer.
Never, please,
I was
never.
seriously like a lot of people had before they even graduated, they all got jobs.
Right. Oh God. Yeah.
But then it was a situation where I had graduated, I didn't have a job, I was actively searching. Even even sometimes when I see people on LinkedIn talking about how they've done like 400 interviews and they haven't gotten anything, I sympathize.
Right.
Because some of them you can't get an email back, you can't get a text back based on the application that you submitted.
Yeah.
And so like seeing all of these people being like, oh, I'm about to graduate in January, secured a place at so company. I felt pressured, but at the end of the day, I just had to keep on telling myself that like my own journey
It's different. I was about
like
to say that.
God's timing
Yeah.
is everything. Like,
Absolutely.
But
you're,
it's-
you
yeah.
are where you are meant to be because you have where you are going.
Exactly. That's one of those things that
Okay.
definitely easier said than done.
Especially if you're putting in the effort.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't put question
If
marks
you're
on God as
putting
already
in
put
work
full stop.
where you are right now, you are going to get to where you're going.
Yeah.
So like don't don't pocket watch other people.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
job watch other people.
Job watch,
don't
yeah.
career watch other people.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, even if you get into the same industry, at the same job, at the same company,
Might not be for you.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
That's
You get
true.
there and you be miserable, or you get there and the person that got there at the same time as you gets promoted before you.
Yeah.
I was going
But
to
it
happen. You know, it's
So
Yeah.
are you not going to go and jump off? the
Yeah.
building?
It's definitely one of those things that's definitely easier said than done. Because I feel like when you're in the grunt of it, like people that have gone 1 year, 2 years, no job, like
No.
when you're in the grunt of it, it's like,
I had to travel back to Ghana.
Ghana.
I was in Ghana for 1 month because my mom was just like, come home. because I was
Yeah.
missing my shit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. What would you say? Because we talked about comparison here a lot, right? So would you say that sometimes that comparison motivates you to want to achieve certain goals?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, wait. Sorry.
what you say?
The
Comparison.
comparison. It could be comparison, or you could call it inspiration, whatever you say. But
Yeah,
from social media,
inspiration.
Definitely
things
goes
that
to
you've
inspiration.
seen,
Gotta
things that
get
you've seen
my
on
money
social
up.
There are some
media.
days I'll close
Nah.
Instagram and
You-
say, I
What?
must make money today.
Gotta stack
I must make money
up, bro.
today.
I think the thing I find interesting is like it always boils down to money, but I think there's so many other things you can be inspired by. Inspired by
Yeah.
people.
I would say
writing.
fashion, even for me. Instagram doesn't, but fashion.
Yeah, fashion,
Yeah.
like writing.
I can't even
people's
lie.
books.
There are some people who I've seen on Instagram who have genuinely taken the leap and just started to travel the way that I know they've always
Yeah,
wanted
they
to.
would.
Exactly.
Because
My
of
brother.
them. Do you grab?
Really?
And I'm like, wow, insane.
Yeah.
There's some people who are
lifestyle.
taking
Yeah.
real leaps, and like even for all the negativity that we've spoken about in terms of social media today, obviously exists for a reason. I've seen
Yeah.
people build insane
Yeah.
things on social media. Like
Yeah.
I manage an artist right now, like the things that he has done
Plug
with
him,
his
oh.
social media pages.
Plug
Plug
him,
him,
what's
plug
his
him,
name?
plug
What's his
him.
name?
Who's the
But,
artist?
like, I might give him a feature, you
Who's
know.
the artist? That's kind
Not
of
that kind of artist.
Not that kind of
No,
artist.
that kind of
Going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's
KBO,
a fine
let them
artist.
know.
His name is Anthony,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shout out to Anthony. Anthony
Aw.
has really shown the power of like how you can move things all over the world
Right.
with just a phone screen, and that's an
Right.
insane thing.
Yeah.
Even friendship. I met all of you online.
Social media,
Yeah,
that's
house
actually
party.
fucking true. Dude,
Shout
somebody
out
was
to
asking me how we
you.
met yesterday, and I didn't remember.
House party. You want me to-
Yeah.
House party.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to
Okay,
House Party. In
yeah,
fact,
shout out.
fun fact, like quick backstory, obviously, like House Party was that app that allowed people to like group FaceTime before FaceTime, and like I think
Ooh.
us four at least, like
There was
part of
definitely
the reason why we're
FaceTime
such
though, but
we
go on.
literally
It
became
wasn't group FaceTime.
That was
Oh,
group
group
FaceTime.
FaceTime.
That's right.
Oh,
You want
And
to
so,
do
like-
FaceTime on your phone? You
And
want to
then
stand
you
on your
know-
laptop.
Yeah.
You're like, can you hear me?
That's how
Can
we
you hear
actually
me?
started.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
And so yeah,
Yeah.
like we
Cool.
actually all met and became like really close friends
Yeah.
through House Party, which
I
is
was-
Like through
so
social
funny.
media. So like,
But then Penya I
No,
met
no.
properly when she came to my 18th
Tonight,
birthday.
yeah.
She blew out my
Wow,
candles.
Which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
It's not
that's
really,
right.
not really. Actually,
it's so
but-
pen coded.
Not really. Why do you say pen coded? That's not true.
It's very
It's-
penny
it's-
coded.
no, it's
I
not.
can't lie.
With this
I feel like we should do an
blows out
episode
your
of this pod
candle.
that's just us
Well,
yanking
nothing.
about like
Do
crazy
you not
shit
ask me to
Penny
blow
has
your own
done.
but
That was done to
Oh,
trigger
it's not
me.
because of the joke.
Oh my god. Okay, so how do you think social media affects you to embrace your failures or setbacks?
Does social media do that?
I feel like it discourages it.
Well,
I feel like it
on
plainly
LinkedIn,
discourages it because
it
like we
certainly
just
does.
like we just discussed
It
now,
certainly
people
does.
rarely ever even show their
LinkedIn,
failures on
you're
social
like,
media.
me.
No, but you're my outbox sponsor me is crazy. Okay,
Like,
fair enough.
I think it actively discourages it because, like we've spoken about today, people rarely even show their failures on social media. Talk less of even
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
fair
it or
enough.
embracing it.
Not on
So then-
LinkedIn.
It's only LinkedIn that they show failure.
Yeah,
Fair
and they'll
enough.
And
show
that failure is
true
even.
failure. They'll
I'm
show
showing
true
you how
failure.
this failure was really a win.
Yeah.
No. I've seen
sometimes
I've
it
seen
doesn't
Ben
work
post
out.
on the guys like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm happy to announce that, and you now like space. I got rejected from XYZ.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
only if it worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
sorry.
but like the guy was still actively searching, but it's like, I just
Yeah.
wanted to show this, and I
Oh,
saw
do you not
this.
think that?
Yeah.
Oh, do you not think that? Do you
Yeah.
not think that makes you like literally the question makes you feel like you're not alone? Like,
Exactly.
exactly. So
That
it
can be
helps you.
uplifting,
Yeah.
can
So
be
it can be a
incredible.
thing where like it helps you embrace it because I feel like
For sure.
I don't know. I saw this. Shout out to my girl Nara Smith. You
That's
guys,
the one that shifts.
yeah, the one that makes things from scratch. I should really like everyone.
Oh, the one that my
Mixed-
husband wants.
Yeah, my
chocolate
husband.
milk.
Yeah.
lucky.
My
I love
husband
her.
wanted
What's
Pepsi.
I love her.
raising
The whole
Karen
world hates
from
her, but I love
scratch.
you.
Like,
They can never make me hate you, baby.
My husband was
So
cool.
she posted something about like eczema and like she
Oh,
has really,
psoriasis. Yeah.
yeah, and for me, or even when people have like deal with
Psoriasis.
autoimmune diseases
I
and
think
they post it, I'm like,
I don't know what it
you
was.
know,
Isn't that just when you have
Skin.
thing
No,
on
it's
your-
like
No,
a skin.
it's
Even
scalp?
all your body.
Right.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
So-
that's true.
I feel like when people post stuff like that, it's really inspiring. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like sometimes you may not even know. People can look at Nara and be like, "Oh, she's living the perfect life, perfect." Blah, blah, blah. Maybe she is. She's rich, so maybe if that's your goal, fine. Like perfect life. But everyone deals with something, and I like the fact that like when people can come back to earth and be like, "This is something I'm dealing with," and somebody else could be like, "Oh my god," and she's telling you, "This is what I deal with. This is what worked for me. This is what I did," and someone else that could go through that could be like, "Oh my god, me too." You know what I'm saying?
That's influence.
Yeah.
Relatability.
Exactly. But not a lot of influencers want to be relatable.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
There are some that want to be on their pedestal.
Exactly.
And look down on
you.
But then relatable are always the best. Like,
get out of here. Get out of here.
Wash my feet.
Is it that babe?
Positive. Is it Winnie Harlow, the one that had the?
Isn't she a mean girl?
I mean, that's what the street.
That has nothing to do with.
Also colorisha, but
that has nothing to do with her.
It doesn't matter, but yeah. I mean, her embracing it.
That's
true. I know. What did he say? He's cancelled. What modern expectation does social media project that you like to debunk? Like, what's something that you see a lot on social media that you like to be like?
Relationship culture in general. Like. This whole, and I'm sorry, it's gonna go back to my previous one.
No.
If you wanted to.
But this whole like spoil your babe, this whole if he's not like buying you this or doing this for you. Again, I'm even going to issue a disclaimer now. I say that like this is a lesser problem on social media than I think we tend to play it up as, if that makes sense. But that doesn't mean it's not a problem. I think that there are a bunch of people who like, funny enough, I genuinely think that like a lot of men in this age, they think they can move like their favorite rapper. A lot of babes in this age feel like they can move like their favorites.
But
whatever the fuck.
I agree with that. No, I agree with that. I definitely agree with
that.
Just
because Rick Ross is saying rich forever doesn't mean you're included.
Bro, just because Ash Cash is saying you guys have to send me $20 on Cash App before I can respond to your DM. You can't do that, bro. You do not have a BBL.
And that's
unless you're a baddie though. Unless you're a baddie though.
But then that's also, I think that's also what inspires this whole Runz babe culture as well, because people are being ridiculous because you see them all these trappers in America that are blowing 50 bags on babes and Kiniko. You cannot be in England thinking that somebody's going to do the same thing for you.
I am a civilian.
Who's trappers now?
I can PAYE tax code.
But you can't be dating an X5 guy thinking he's blowing 50 bags on you.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
No hush profit.
Of course not. This is someone that's doing a 9 to 5 that's working hard for his money, and because somebody bought somebody a Patek, you think I'm going to come and buy you a Patek? When he's working a 9 to 5, he's getting 40K. Hey,
yeah, I saw this video, right?
Can finance it if you love him.
Oh,
if you want it to, you
finance the APR options.
If you are getting a broke man, just say so. If he doesn't have it like that, just say so.
Of the Runz babe thing. So sorry, this doesn't even have to do with social media. But can we talk about the private school girl
to Runz babe?
Let's unpack.
You know what the truth of the matter is?
But we cannot do that.
I've seen an aspect of it.
But we can do it off air.
I think it happens because I can't lie.
You don't say names.
Girl dads everywhere. I think you guys need to be better at saying no to your daughters. And I know what you mean. Like, funny enough, I've spoken to like uncles and family acquaintances in the past that have leveled with me and just said that, bro, like, look at the way social media.
What does that have to do?
But if their dads are not saying, their dads and moms are not saying no.
And the reason why, like, one guy has literally said straight up to me that, like, bro, I don't say no to my daughter right now, and I know it is like raising her to be a more entitled person than she would otherwise be, because I feel as though she can reach an age where she's like 15 or so, that she'll ask me for something, I'll say no. I should go and collect it from some random man on Twitter. And like, no matter what happens, I don't want that.
So my thing with that, right, it's not more of don't say yes to everything, but it's more of like give incentives for them to achieve it. So someone like me always asks for a lot of shit. And my mom was like, yes, but get this grade. Yes, but do this. So when that time comes, right, and I've asked for this one thing, and they've said no because they've asked me to pass something, I don't think that makes me now want to run as a 20-year-old woman to go and get it from someone else. It's more like, okay, do you know what? I'm going to work hard. I want to buy this for myself. Maybe my mom doesn't want to buy it. Okay, cool. Get this job. Get this promotion.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I'll then spoil myself.
I think what you're,
understanding for your kids.
I will say that as someone that has always wanted a lot of stuff, incentivize
Incentivize.
for your kids. Like, I'm so sorry, you don't know how
she was
much
kicking
that
your
has
ass.
shaped me as a person.
Absolutely.
There's this
oh,
girl
sorry,
on TikTok that I was watching. I can't remember. She's like an Asian girl, but she lives in America. An Asian American girl, and she comes from a really rich family. And they were like, "Oh, if you, I don't know, graduate from your cello class and you are top of the class, whatever, we'll buy you this." And they buy her that, and then she works towards another goal. So all of the items that she has, despite the fact that she comes from an extremely well-off family, she earns those things by working towards goals.
It's like the wider thing you guys are alluding to, right? Is basically like, rather than just saying yes unconditionally, it's building character. Like building a set of principles, whether it be like implicitly through like saying, okay, do this and do that. Because over time, you kind of learn, even though you may not be able to make sense of it as a kid, like, because you're going through those experiences of, okay, actually, every time I ask my parents for this, I have to do something like, that's actually
sometimes you just say,
myself.
"Oh, look, I've done this."
Exactly.
You're not
Build
you look at the
character.
item with the form of self-achievement, like,
And it's like,
Absolutely.
I can take care of the item.
word,
Say, no,
word.
that time
and
I
then you
read
know the
for
value
this.
of the
That was
item.
what I was going to say. I also think it's
Yeah.
important to teach children about value. Because even in scenarios where you're attaching whatever they're getting to a goal, value is still important in those scenarios. Because the child can have their own discernment and attach the value themselves, but that's not always the case. So I think it's always important to make a child understand what having a MacBook over this means, having this over this means. It's not that you just go, because we're this family, you get this, because we're this family, you get that. I think value is so important. And also, so the child doesn't end up being snobby or being
understanding the worth of money.
General population.
Well, even to,
value is so important.
Yeah, even to wrap up that, because to be honest, you guys were all technically saying the same thing, but I don't believe that I know it's not a generalization podcast, but I also don't believe that most people who are now this Runz girl, whatever, is because their parents always said yes to them. I feel like sometimes some people I think sometimes people just like the thrill. No, I think some girls just like the thrill of it, and I think some girls also absorb too much of what social media is saying, and they just personalize that, like, oh, it's like, okay, well, I must have a man that is doing this, and really and truly, it's only the uncles that are going to be doing that. Oh, someone who is stealing money. You can't expect someone at 25 or 28 to be giving you the same things that your dad was giving you. It's not possible.
But I'm also not gonna lie. I'm also not gonna lie. I'm also not gonna lie. As a guy, I feel as though I can freely admit this. Like, guys have to give props to, like, let's call them quote unquote good women, because like it literally costs nothing to sell your body, bro. Like, if I was a babe and like niggas were actually telling me they want to throw money at me just like, hey yo, obviously it can sacrifice your peace of mind, your mental health, all of that.
It's a bit weird, to look at things that you own, things that, let's just open up your closet door and let's say you have 6 bags lined up, and each of them you can give them a name. This one is Ademide. This one is Lanre. This one is
Why the old nigga?
Not Jabril.
like, you know, like,
Shout out JB.
It's a bit weird.
What kind of bag is called that thing with the
It's because I think they bought it from you.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. That's what she was saying. Y'all didn't hear what she was saying.
When Hermes calls their bag Kelly, you won't complain. But
That's racist.
Kelly is what the designer named the bag. Ademide is who bought it for you.
Okay, guys. Thank you, guys. We're gonna wrap up in like 2 seconds, but I'm gonna ask you guys one question. I want one answer. It's not gonna be a discussion. Quick answer. If you had to give up social media for 1 year, just make it quick. What would be the hardest part? What would the hardest part of that be for you?
Communicating with people that I talk to.
Business connections, making money.
Keeping up with my business. You know what my friends are up to, keeping up with.
You can't say too much. I said one. The next person. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to say different things. If you guys already think that it's the same.
Inspiration. Again, love.
That too.
Yeah.
Like, what you notice, my parents are always asking, oh, what is their friend's daughter up to? And like, I might not necessarily be too close to them,
right?
But I literally watch their story and now I'll tell them straight, oh, she's been in France in school for like the past year. She's doing a master's in.
I agree. I agree with what you said about, and the same thing you just said right now in terms of like what my friends that are not in my country, like because I moved, like since I've moved to America, I'm like, what are my friends in London doing? I miss you guys. I'm
But most
Baby's literally always here.
I am, but no, I do miss you guys. And the way you guys are hanging out when I'm not here, it makes me sad. But I think like that's my favorite part on social media. Well, thank you. Thank you. The only person that was sympathetic to me.
You like, don't move back.
I was begging you the other day.
Soon come in. Let me just get my husband. We'll be back.
Okay.
We'll be
Okay.
the kids.
Another week.
Anyway, get out
Yeah.
for another week. But
That's
thank
another
you
week.
guys so much for tuning in. And thank you guys so much for being here and talking great
Thank you for having
conversation
us.
per
Yeah,
usual.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, I hope you guys took some notes. And I'll see you at the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.